So how would you describe what a microbit is for somebody who hasn't seen one before?
The microbit is a tiny credit card sized computer that any child can use to create technology. You can create wearable technology, musical instruments, games. You can create adaptive tools to help people learn better, move through life better, laugh more, smile more. On the technical side, the microbit has a thermostat, a motion detector, A/B buttons, a light sensor, has a compass. On the front of the microbit are 5x5 is a 5x5 array of LED lights. And so in the palm of your hand, literally, you have the power of a computer that can be used to create almost anything that your imagination can come up with. And I think when kids look at this, they don't ask themselves, what should that be? They say, what can I make with that? And I think that's a really powerful mindset for kids to be in, to look at a tool and say, what can I make? And I think a lot of other tools, you look at it and you say, what should I do? What's the right way? How do I do this? And you immediately, your heart and mindset, there's a power flip. And instead of being in the mindset of what can I make with that, you start saying, what are the rules? Let me clarify that, because rules and boundaries are part of the creative process. That's part of computational thinking, is grappling with the restrictions of any tool, what digital or non-digital. But I think for me that the differentiator is consumers give tools back to their creators and say, fix it when something goes wrong. Creators look at a thing that's broken and say, how can I fix it? They have the agency to say, I believe I have something to contribute to solving this problem. Creators work with other creators to solve unpredictable surprises. And so often in classrooms, unpredictable surprises get passed off to the adult or the older person in the room. Maybe it's not an adult, it could be a teenage volunteer or something like that. But sometimes age and experience get mixed up, and we don't realize that truly anybody can help solve a problem. And learning that from a young age, that your voice matters, your creativity matters, you can get involved in solving a problem now. That's what creators do. I think tools like the microbit help children to develop that agency.
And how do kids program that tool? So like what options does the microbit have in terms of creating all of those things you mentioned?
There are a lot. So if you wanted to get started today, you could go to MakeCode, which is Microsoft's block-based programming language. You toggle between blocks of JavaScript. You can go to Python. You can use Scratch. You can use just a whole host of open source editors that are out there, including EduBlocks, which is an amazing blocks to Python programming language from this amazing kid in the UK, Josh Lowe, who's also one of the co-editors of Micromag magazine. You can use BirdBlocks, which is a software program developed by BirdBrain Technologies. There are just tons and tons of languages out there. Firea Labs has a Python editor that'll work. You have Tinker, which is a coding platform for kids. They have their own block-based programming language they've developed for microbit. There are over 200 physical hardware accessories made by countless manufacturers all over the world. And a lot of these guys have created some type of software environment for programming your microbit. Really, if you want to program it, you're limited only by your imagination and what language you're going to choose. And if you wanted to go develop your own language for it, you could do that too.
And those hardware accessories augment the microbit.
Correct. So these are everything from climate action kits from Inksmith in Canada to bright bags from an amazing woman in California who's developing these great little bags for kids to code their wearable technology. We have little race cars, so many rovers, including Sphero, which has the option to integrate a microbit within their platform, their new rover platform. And that's RVR, but it's pronounced rover.
And I will include all of these in the show notes, and I'll even include in some of the microbit tutorials that I use that show you how to connect the microbit to Scratch and use them for like project extensions and whatnot.